Alright, we are here, finally, after Greg broke everything. And so, today is probably going to be, since we're running so late, looking at NEI and see if we can find all the changes Greg made today. Not a whole lot of actually doing much of anything. Might test out a few of them if it's not too difficult, and then we'll do the anything that actually needs proper testing tomorrow. Got a sore throat from my sinuses draining, so feeling like ass. Okay, so changelog. Greg's gonna have to explain what this byte thing is, because I don't know it. I ain't got into coding enough to understand what that is. But apparently this is what broke the download this morning that, or broke the version that I was trying to download this morning twice. Because somebody was using something that he was using when he switched it over, but it says he hit the 2 to the 32nd power byte limit of code on mt.java yet again and needed to trim it down further in order to get GT6 to compile. This means large code changes and some removals inside that file. Whatever the fuck all that means. Apparently there were some stone tools available that weren't supposed to be. Not quite sure what ones that would be, because I only knew of like the stone hammer, stone pickaxe, shovel, hoe, things like that. There's a stone spade, arrow tips, a stone chainsaw tip. Who the fuck would make that? Oh, there was a stone saw. Huh, I didn't know that. Why is there a chainsaw tip? Hylarynus. And a stone wrench tip? Those shouldn't actually exist, should they? You really make a stone wrench tip? You can't make a stone wrench. Hi, Annie. Let's see. So the hammer's still there. You actually make a, well, I guess these are siltstone. That is still the weakest stone ever. You can actually make a stone chisel. You gotta have a crucible first to make it, but you can make it. But it has to be siltstone for some reason. It's kind of weird. Why is it only... Silt's like the weakest shit. I wouldn't think those should be in there either. But they are. There's still a siltstone saw blade too. So maybe he just overlooked that kind of stone. The firestone I kind of understand, because that's a weird material. It's not really a stone. I don't think the other ones are meant to be there. Anyways, and I guess it's 2 to the 16th byte, not 2 to the 32nd byte. Dust funnels not dropping their partial content when broken. This is something I wish would have been fixed a long damn time ago. So now you won't have to play the guessing game to figure out what that one piece is that's in there. I swear there's got to be at least a couple videos bitching about this exact thing. Because I've had to go to Crazy's place at least once back on the Tylercraft GT6 and help her get a piece out of there because she put in, this was back before the 1/72, and she put in something that was a small and a tiny and took out tinies, and it would leave a 1/72 or a few 1/72 in there. Alright, so if we take this and we put it on Monkey Wrench and we leave it on block, that'll show that it's in there. And then actually use it. Holy shit, I forgot my damn drill is psycho. Damn it. Forgetting that damn drill is psycho. Wait a minute, hold on a minute. Yeah, my inventory's full. I should. Alright, so let's do this. Let's turn it to smalls. And then, well, kiss my ass. It's not what I meant to do. Small, tiny. Okay, there we go. So, throw these up there. You have a hopper in you. Take my stuff. Okay, so it's in there. Break it. They pop out. Alright, so that's mighty awesome. Not that I use this anymore, because I honestly don't. But the reason I put this up here is I do believe... Haha! So apparently my drill is magnetic. I didn't think the drills were that way unless you actually made them out of something magnetized, but apparently it is. That is awesome. And actually lost a small piece of my glass, I think. Oh no, there's my 1/72. Alright, let's put this back on regular dust. Put that in. Put that in. Put them in. And yeah, I apparently lost some of it because I ain't getting a full one back out. So, let's see what I ended up with. You won't drop into... I thought that thing would just drop out on the floor. It's been way too long since I've used one. I swore it used to just drop on the floor. Yeah, it did. What did I do? Just have lag? Does it actually drop the full thing? Okay, so I didn't lose any. Well, kiss my ass. Yeah, okay. So I didn't lose any of it. I kind of thought it was weird that I had. Drills are magnetic directly. Okay, so that's awesome. See, I didn't get to test that last week because I was on GT6 Lite instead of main last week. And we don't have drills over there yet. But that is awesome that it is magnetic. So yeah, siltstone not intended. Okay. So I take it those will be removed. I overlooked half of the stones, it seems. Alright. And later, Lorinus. Alright, so that's that thing. Dust funnels we did. Sealed wood pipes. This one makes me very, very happy. I can stop hearing people asking me, hey, the sealed wood pipes, they're gas proof. Can I use them for steam pipes? No, you can't. They're not gas proof anymore. So the gas proofing has been taken off of them. And for some reason now they have 2 flammable tags. Are they extra flammable? But they have also been buffed. So now the tinies are 37 bandwidth, the small are 75, and the regular is 225, 450, 900. And let's bring up wood. Hello. Give me a wood pipe. Not all these tool heads. Okay. So there's the sealed wood. And there's the regular wood. So you'll see 3725. So they got a buff in their size now that they're not gas proof. They are a little bit better. And then that'll answer the question of why isn't there a sealed wood tank that can hold gases? Because there's not a sealed wood pipe that can hold gases. Okay, so that's the wood pipes. Some acids can no longer be electrolyzed into their components anymore. Same goes for most sulfur containing chemicals. So let's look up acid. And let's see what we have here. Oleic acid, I think this is something from IHL. And it doesn't have an electrolyzing recipe. I don't know if it ever did, because I don't think I've ever made the stuff. Chloroplatinic acid also does not have. I want the damn fluid. It says a universal cell, so it should give me the fluid somewhere. There we go. Alright, let me go look at the other one. So this is what you get out of processing platinum type stuff, platinum, iridium, sheldonite, nickel in aqua regia. They get you your platinum group sludge. And then the chloroplatinic acid, the nitrogen monoxide, and water. And so it can be electrolyzed to give you platinum, chlorine, and hydrogen. Let's check the tank version here and make sure there's not one for oleic acid. Okay, so most definitely isn't. Sulfuric acid, that's using it to make carbon dust, water, and sulfur trioxide. And all the different ways of doing it that way. Definitely looks like there's no way of getting rid of sulfuric acid in the electrolyzer. I'm guessing the way you get rid of it would be one of these here. Greg talks about it in a little bit. This one actually looks. Oh no, that was added a while back. Here in a minute, he talks about some process. I can't remember what it's called. We'll get to that in a minute. Let's see. Then we have the extra bees acid, which is just generic version of sulfuric acid apparently. So you'd have to make it into sulfuric acid. Nitric acid. Mixer. Bath. And no centrifuging that down either. Boric acid. I don't even know if there's a way to make that one in Greg Tech. Let's see. What's it say? Yeah, it's an IHL only thing. Etching acid, that's definitely not Greg Tech. Chlororic. This is from Gold Stuff, so it can be done. This is from doing, I think, gold in Aqua Regia. Yeah. Copper, gold, and then you get that one. Hydrofluoric acid. There is no use whatsoever for hydrofluoric acid yet. Hydrosulfuric acid used to make sodium sulfite and water. I'm guessing this is that process here. Sulfuric dioxide, hydrosulfuric acid makes sulfur and water. Potassium hydroxide and hydrosulfuric acid. So how do you make this shit? Molten sulfur and hydrogen? Okay, maybe that's not the way you do it. Or sulfur dust and hydrogen. I don't know what else you'd use this shit for. Guess it's a way of getting potassium sulfide and sodium sulfide. Which you can use with hydrogen peroxide to get sodium sulfide. I'm sure potassium sulfide. Yeah, you need to react the sulfuric acid with something to get something out of it. Sulfur dioxide is the thing that gets turned into sulfur dust. Yes, hydrogen sulfide is only really useful for turning sulfur dioxide into sulfur dust. Okay. Okay, so then you got hydrochloric acid, which doesn't have a electrolyzing thing either, which is used for making Aqua Regia. We can also use it with sodium hydroxide to make salt and salt water, and with borax to make hydrogen borat dust and salt water. You can bathe wolframite dust in it now and get magnesium chloride dust and tungstic acid dust. So this is a new thing added in this chemistry update. So magnesium chloride you can use if you have rotary craft to make ammonium nitrate. And that looks like that's about all you can use it for. You can make an ingot out of it, but I'm sure it's useless. He did say that some of these things you have to use the liquid version. Yep, so that's what it is. You just use the molten magnesium chloride and electrolyzer to make magnesium and chlorine. Something that's later on in the change log is you can't use dust in the electrolyzer anymore. You have to use the liquid version to electrolyze it. So while we're looking at this, wolframite, scheelite also gets turned into that same stuff, and tungstate. Tungstate makes lithium chloride dust. Scheelite makes calcium chloride, and the wolframite again makes magnesium. So then you turn these into the liquid version, and then you get your lithium and your chlorine out of it. And same for the calcium one. For scheelite would give you calcium and chlorine. Alright. So a little more work to process tungsten properly. You need to actually break them down. I'm sure you can still throw them into a crucible. No. Apparently. It doesn't say you can. So I'm guessing that you actually have to set this up before you can make tungsten now. No, I have to try this. Let's see. Huberite, ferberite, malabonite, russellite. Those are mostly tungsten ones. Oxide. All the tungsten related ores have to be chemically processed. Alright, so that means that these huberite now will have a way of doing it as well. Okay. There's no way of using huberite? There's no molten version for you to electrolyze. There's no chemical thing for huberite yet. Ferberite? Apparently there's a crazy here. Yeah, this one doesn't have a use yet either.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Malabonite, that's moly, not tungsten, so I'm sure it'll have a way. Yeah, you can just cook it straight or roast it. Yeah, but huberite and ferberite do not have a way of processing anymore. Yeah, 3 tungsten ores don't have a proper process yet. Alright, what about russellite? Is that one of them? One of the 3? Greg, russellite can be turned into tungsten trioxide in a crucible. Is that your intended for that? That's the only one that I see that can now be put in a crucible to get anything. And then the tungsten what the fuck ever it said, trioxide. WO3 is intended. Okay, so it is intended for you to throw this in a crucible and make this tungsten trioxide stuff. Is there not going to be a smelter way of doing it? or you can make like a molten version of it, or even a dust version of it that doesn't take a crucible. Okay, so you put that in a mixer with hydrogen, and you get tungsten dust and water. So this is going to be your maybe easiest way of getting there. No smelter way of making tungsten. No smelter way at all? Oh, okay. So, now what about once we get the actual tungsten dust, we can use a smelter for that, right? Yeah. Okay, so we can smelt tungsten, we just can't use a smelter to make it. Okay. Is there any... I don't have any scheelite. This shucks. I could not make that sound right. I was trying and I failed. Oh, I do have one. Okay, let's see what we get. Greg's gonna make me waste a freaking tungsten dust. Or a scheelite dust.
I'm not making you do anything.
Said Greg, not crazy.
It's not like you said crazy.
Alright.
But of course I'm only half paying attention.
Okay. Half paying attention as in normal, or half paying attention, half of your normal paying attention, which
Half
would
of
be
my
a quarter.
normal.
Okay, so you're only a quarter paying attention. Because you
Yeah.
don't normally pay attention at all. Or about half most of the time.
Hush it.
So this was supposed to break down to something at 1,000, if I remember correctly. Crazy is Greg now. I swore I said Greg, not crazy, but I probably said crazy. Okay, so at 900 it turned into molten scheelite, it looks like. Let's see if that's what I get out. Hey, NetMC.
Hi. No. I am not feeling guilty for no reason.
Yeah, the ores basically all need a chemical rework. Usually you can't just heat them up and hope for the best. We still need that good old mud shit. Okay, so now we get scheelite scrap. Well, I can't do it. Can't make she sound like shit properly for some reason. I'm trying. Alright, so let's get it to 1,000 and see if it actually vaporizes some of it or all of it. No? Alright, well, shit. So, that's not going to work anymore. Alright, so now I know what we get when we put scheelite in. So tungsten's going to be a little bit more work to get to now, which is awesome. It's basically your end game material, so it should be more work to get to. People are going to love this though, since they want that smelter super fast. Holy shit, does somebody have a translator? Alright, let's go back to the changelog real quick. We looked at, I think, all of the acids. Except for this hexafluorosilactic, which is used to make silicon powder and fluoride, or we use that to make the alumina into the aluminum fluoride, but you can't actually electrolyze it. Oh, you can actually electrolyze it. Never mind. What the fuck is the first thing I looked at? Shut up, crazy. You're being stupid.
What?
I knew you weren't paying attention, so I had to fuck with you.
I'm trying to enter ISIS.
Okay, so fake osmium is now easier obtainable when mechanism is installed. It can be processed in a furnace as well. If a material has a fluid form and can be electrolyzed or centrifuged, you are going to have to use said fluid form from that now and can't use dust for it anymore. So that means like bronze. You used to be able to put bronze dust into a centrifuge. Holy crap, I just lagged out my whole game trying to look at that. Yeah, you used to be able to put that in a centrifuge and get things back out. Now, if you want to do that, you gotta put it into its molten form.
Am I supposed to be doing something while I'm here?
Standing there and looking party, dancing with the turtle.
No.
Turtle's feeling lonely, hasn't been danced with in a while. You can dance with the turtle.
That's Junior's job, not mine.
Making a sign to put on the turtle that says, "Have you seen my owner? I am lost." So yeah, like brass, bronze, any of those alloys that you used to be able to break down in a centrifuge, you're now going to have the molten version. Let's see. Tungsten ore, if you happen to find any due to other mods or old GT6 World Gen, will crush into 2x scheelite instead to ensure proper processing, while also giving a slight bonus compared to actual scheelite, which sucks because could have gave us tungsten. At least it has lithium, not fucking calcium. Hate fucking scheelite. That stuff is junk. So I always used when I needed to make tungsten earlier in a crucible because it was the only thing I gave a shit about losing. The other part of it.
You need to add another minion.
Okay, so let's see here. So that's the sifter. Crusher, you get 4 crushed scheelite out of a tungsten ore in the crusher. What minion am I missing?
Well, I thought you had one for every member of the group. Apparently not.
I think I only did the ones that were here. I haven't given Yoshi one here.
Oh.
And NMC has one, but that was because he was here a lot. It's Bebot. I think all the minions are over on Tylercraft GT6. I think I have all of them over there. We ain't got enough room in there for all of them. I have to scatter them out through the village. Throw yours out in the middle of the field like a scarecrow.
No.
Put Junior's up on the roof. Find a hole, dig a hole, and put shadows in it. Bury his dumbass. Stick Andy on that IC2 freaking pole thing that he always wants to play on. Put Greg's ass in a workshop and just put his ass to work. Let's see.
Am I sidetracking you?
It's the greeting comrades thing, I bet. Oh, okay. Greg, your advice on forum to some guy about charging table. Still need plastic for this, right? Oh yeah, I got into messing with the update today. I forgot all about wanting to check that. I haven't made one of those charging tables in forever. But yeah, it does take a circuit, so you definitely can't charge it in there without having plastic. Why not liquid outputs for the centrifuge for bronze? Don't know about the other recipes. Yeah, I thought that too. Currently, it uses the default environment temperature for that instead of the input temperature. Now, see, I was thinking that, but since you're centrifuging it, wouldn't it be cooling it off as it's spinning it? Unless you're actually heating the centrifuge, which would then be a thermal centrifuge. So then you should get a dust version out instead of a molten version, because it would then be cooled off from its original molten state. And yes, you're distracting me. That's nothing new. Let's see. Small tungsten, or I didn't even know there was a pineolite. Or I knew there was a pinnolite ore, but I didn't know there was a small version of it. I only knew of the small tungsten. But apparently,
It's a polymerizer.
A polymerizer?
Yeah.
It's not a Greg Tech thing. It's a way of making plastic with pneumaticraft. But apparently all the small tungstens are now going to be turned into scheelite, which sucks. Because, as I said, scheelite sucks ass. Nah, if it doesn't cool down in pipes, it wouldn't cool down in machines. Unless the machine has the purpose of cooling down. But it's spinning it. The air in there, while it's spinning, would cool it down natively, naturally.
I'll be right back.
In a pipe, it's just flowing. But in a machine, it's being spun. So I checked the new simplified path to aluminum, and there is a step where you need supply of platinum. Am I right? Yeah, can't spell that shit. Even if it does need a platinum, it doesn't take very much. It takes one and it's not used. Where is the alumina ingot? Trying to remember the setup. It's been a while since I did it. Why am I looking at that? I want uses, damn it. Graphene, aluminum chloride, molten cryolite, which that is that stuff. This is this dust stuff. There's the dust. That comes from mixing hydrofluorosilica with alumina. And that one is silicon dioxide, hydrogen fluoride. Let's see. That makes sense. The time for it to cool down would also depend on the volume of Starting temperature. Sulfur dioxide plus vanadium pentoxide or platinum. Yeah, you know how easy it is to get vanadium pentoxide? Yes, it is not used. If you look at the recipe, it actually says in the tooltip, not used up. Let me find. Okay, vanadium pentoxide. You're talking about the making sulfur dioxide into sulfur trioxide. And if you look right there in flashing blue and teal, does not get consumed in the process. So 1 vanadium pentoxide is all you need to ever run to do this. And the platinum most definitely should not get used up either. Yes, here. Platinum does not get consumed in the process. So yes, platinum most definitely does not get used up either. Yes, there are tooltips. Lots and lots of tooltips. Huge ass tooltips. You're welcome. And what is it you're needing to charge that you need a battery box for early on? I kind of argued with Greg about the same thing. But I was just wanting a battery box for my electrolyzer, and he said that it is very much intended that you just use a dynamo on the electrolyzer to do what you need to do, and that you cannot store things power-wise or store power until you get the plastic from the distillation tower. But a distillation tower shouldn't be too difficult to get, other than getting, if you can find manganese, or you have to wash a whole lot of things in the sluice and then dry the sluice juice and then magnetic separate the sluice sand, which will give you manganese, but that's a rougher way to get about it. Let's see. But you can use IC2 battery boxes. I don't choose to go that way because I'm tired of making the damn things. I've made way too many of them in my day. And there's a proper Greg Tech way of doing it, so I will do it the Greg Tech way rather than using these stupid ass battery boxes, but it is possible to do so. You just need RE batteries, insulated tin cables, all of which are completely craftable. So if you really, really need stored power, you can use one of them, and they do work directly with Greg's stuff. That's how we did it in the old days. Yes, manganese can be a huge pain in the ass because it only is technically in one vein. I do believe there's one of the tungstens that gives manganese as well. But I am not completely sure on that. But let me look it up here. The regular vein that you get it out of is a real pain in the ass to find usually for most people. I usually get pretty lucky with it. You can get it out of spessartine, and there's no manganese. Pyrolusite, that's kind of the main way other than spessartine to get it. Gray vitriol will give it to you, which is when you're doing any of the processing of tungsten type things through sulfuric acid, so you could go that way as well. Also, you can do the tantalite and spessartine as well to get gray vitriol, but that's a very expensive way because you got to have MV to do that one. Let's see what else we got here. Tantalite will give it to you, but like I said, sluice sand is actually the main way I get mine. It comes out of tantalite, pyrolusite, tungstate. I thought there was one that gave it. Scheelite will give it to you. Ilmenite apparently will, somehow. I don't remember Ilmenite giving it to you. Spessartine. And then magnetic separator with moon turf. That's not the one I'm looking for though. Sluice sand. So you put sluice sand and magnetic separator, and you get a 6.48% chance of magnesium dust. It is not a very great way of doing it, and it's only a tiny that you get, but it will give it to you over time if you can't find the damn thing. There is one of the tungstens indeed. It's fermerite or hubnerite. The only source for magnesium for me right now is robbery. Yeah, looting is a good way of getting it as well. You need to find a tantalite vein. They are a bit harder to find. I think you have to tunnel around 50 usually to find them. I'd have to look it up to be sure. But if I remember correctly, it is only in a very narrow band right around level 50. You can do the dig down bullshit that I can't stand. If it's at 50, where I think it is, that's close enough to the surface, you could go rock picking and get lucky to find it that way as well. Or my way, which is just tunnel like hell. Alright, so let's see. Selenium as byproduct of some ores. I will likely use it for batteries. I also added it into the moon cheese vein since selenium is literally named after the moon. Alright, so let's see what stuff is going to give this stuff. How the hell do I spell that? Selenium dust. Alright, so that is a gem apparently. There's the byproducts. So cinnabar will now give you selenium dust as its fourth byproduct. Cadmium ore will give it to you as its third. Galena will give it to you as its fourth. So I take it there's no, isn't it bromine? That one you used to get out of there. Indium ore gives it to you. Sphalerite will give it to you as a fifth byproduct. Pyrite will give it to you as a fifth byproduct. Gallium, I don't even think there is a gallium ore. Give it to you as the second. So for pyrite, how the hell do we get this out of pyrite? Alright, so we're going to, let's see, sifter does not give it to you. Crushed. Thermal centrifuge does not, which there's not going to be a GregTech version of. Okay, so it's one of the sluice things you get it from. And then if you electrolyze, you get iron. Centrifuge, you get phosphorus. Thermocentrifuge, still again, nothing really special there. And you don't get it with the sulfuric acid either. So that's the way you're going to get it in the sluice out of pyrite. And let's see. You also have it out of sphalerite. I'm going to guess that this is going to be sluicing it as well. Yep. Get it out of the sluice as well. Indium, like I said, I don't think there is an actual indium ore. There are small ones though. And it is the only byproduct you get off of those. Galena. You get a double chance of it off of galena. And then cadmium. It's 2 of the 8 things out of there. But since it's the third, do we get it? Yeah, you actually get it when you electrolyze the purified cadmium. That's what I thought when it's the third one. So there's that stuff. It doesn't actually have a use yet, but it will. Probably for batteries, as he said. Let's see. Sodium nitrate and a bunch of saltpeter related chemical recipes. Okay. Cuberite needs 96 a tick electrolyzed, so it's not helpful at all. Well, you can do a 96 electrolyzer. That's not difficult to do. See, dynamo for 96, you would need this one. You would need an HV. Wait a minute, no. This one. You need an MV, which is aluminum. Be a pain in the ass to do, but you definitely could do it. I seriously think the way he changed aluminum processing, he ought to switch galvanized and stainless steel around, because it is so much easier to make stainless steel now than it is aluminum. Move aluminum up to HV. But that's, a great choice. Not a bear choice, but with aluminum being one of the more difficult materials to make, it would be a lot easier to process things in MV, which we need a lot of things in MV, without having to set up that whole aluminum thing. It can be done in LV, most definitely. I did look at that, but you could run it in an HV one, which is stainless steel, and you can get 256 RU to run that dynamo with boilers, so you don't technically need EU.
Okay.
Yeah. Aside from tons of chemicals you need, yes. Let's see. So let's look up the saltpeter stuff. Saltpeter. Is this supposed to be ways of making it? Let's see. potassium hydroxide and nitric acid will make potassium nitrate. I'm guessing potassium nitrate is saltpeter. I'm guessing. Guessing that's the technical name for it. Potassium carbonate, nitric acid will make potassium nitrate, and water. Bye, crazy. Yep, that's saltpeter. Okay. Let's see here. So that's your way of making it. Are there things that we're supposed to be able to do with them now, other than breaking them down in an electrolyzer? We can make cryothium dust with it. We can make erothium dust with it, which I don't know enough about thermal expansion to even know what that shit is. Yeah, you'd have to have a pretty good steam setup to be able to run the HV dynamo, but you would definitely be able to skip it. Skip the tier 2 at this point, because stainless is so much easier to make. I don't even know if there's a use for that shit in RegTech. Let's see, that's cryothium again. Make gunpowder with it. We can use it to make the potassium bisulfite stuff and nitric acid. There's another gunpowder. You can use it to make fertilizer. More gunpowder, more cryothium, more erothium, more gunpowder. Alright, so cryo mixer. Okay, so why is it in both? Shouldn't it be one or the other, Greg? Shouldn't cryothium dust be made in a cryo mixer instead of the regular mixer? And you can make turbine for it, because steel only at 128 RU a tick. You can't make turbine for it. Let's go look real quick. Turbine. So, you needed, right there's a steel leaf. 192, I'm not sure if that's enough. Let's see. If I put in RU, will this work? I want to see if it'll give me what I want here. Alright, so HV dynamo. What the hell's dynamos? Flux dynamos. It needs RU in is 256. So yeah, you'd actually have to do the titanium. Unless you did the magic ones. Either Steely from the Twilight or from IC2 Crops. Or Thaumium from Thaumcraft. Or Ironwood, which is also from Twilight or IC2 Crops. So yeah, otherwise you'd have to make titanium for it. So yeah, that does kind of suck. Chromium. Let's see, energy out is up to 192. And The dynamo is, let's see, no, that's not going to give you enough. That's only going to give you 192, and you need 256. Oh, wait a minute. I'm looking, and yeah, max 192. So yeah, chromium won't work. It would have to be one of those upper levels, one of these three here, or you'd have to go with titanium, which I actually think titanium might be a little bit easier to make than aluminum at this point. Yeah. Is this whole talk about magnesium? I do believe that's what he's trying to do, is get magnesium out of tantalite. I have actually forgotten at this point. Dun, dun, dun. Aside from byproducts and pyrolose ore, there is no other intended way to get it. Yeah, you can get it really easily just out of the impure pile of tantalite or the purified tantalite, and that is just a centrifuge at 16. Tungstate dust, so you could crush and wash and process tungstate and get it out of there, even though you can't use tungstate for anything else. Same with spessartine, you could process it as well. Again, it's not an easy one to get to, but that's impure. There's the spessartine, purified. Let's go back to what we were looking at here. So I think that's all of the saltpeter stuff. Potassium and sodium-based chemicals can now be interchanged in a lot of recipes, but not all of them. And then lots of chemistry-related materials and recipes that didn't exist before to make more things more complete. Let's look at sodium. See if I can pick out some of these new recipes here. I'm guessing most of it's going to be the hydroxides and stuff like that, but let's see. Sodium sulfide, sodium hydroxide, which I'm sure is not going to be different. Titanium tetrachloride to make titanium, and salt. So I'm guessing that the things that are actually going to be different is going to be where you can use these sodium or potassium bisulfites and stuff like that. I don't really see where, I'm trying to think of where you would actually use regular sodium or regular potassium, and I don't really see any in here. So you can use sodium sulfite dust to make the stained glass. And you can also use the potassium one there. That's for all the different stained glasses. You can use them both. He's trying to figure out how to get manganese out of something. I don't even remember at this point what it was. It's because aluminum is harder to get than stainless steel. Aluminum is tier 2 and HV is tier 3. Or stainless steel is tier 3. So I was trying to suggest that he go for a HV electrolyzer instead of a MV one. Which, since he's trying to get magnesium, making anything out of stainless steel would kind of be breaking the purpose, because you need the manganese to make the damn stuff. Okay, so other than those chemical changes, which I'm not even sure what they are, crowbar covers now go directly into your inventory if possible. And then the tungsten chemical processing, we already talked about and showed the ones that are done currently. There are 3 that aren't. And I'm actually going to leave you guys a bit early today. Like I said, my throat is killing me. My sinuses are draining down the back of my throat. But we're planning on probably this evening working on GT6 Lite to move the processing machines over to my new factory, now that there's a factory floor. So if we do that and I'm not feeling completely like hell and can talk, I will stream a bit more then. I don't know if there's anything that Greg actually is finishing up today, or if it's getting released today or tomorrow. We'll see if he answers here in a minute. There's not really a whole lot of testing that I need to do. Just maybe some machines I gotta change processes around in. And don't really look like there's much of that either. Like I said, my throat is killing me from talking, so might be a little scarce on videos and streams for the next couple days till I get this shit done. But I will still do at least one a day, for at least an hour. I should be able to fight through that. Likely it'll be tomorrow. Okay. So look for your update tomorrow, and have a good one. Hope you enjoyed the little bit of NEI searching we did today and the very little testing we actually did. And I will see you guys later. Have a good one.